Okay.
Okay, Chief, take it away.
Thank you. So I'd like to call to order the joint board meeting between Western Lane Fire and Rescue Authority, Southwest Valley Fire and Rescue, and Western Lane Ambulance District. Would you rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Holly, would you do roll call for us?
Absolutely. SVFR and WLFEA directors. Director Burns.
Here.
Director Polisi.
Here.
Director Heppel.
He's here.
Director Spade.
Here.
Director Mendolia. Western Lane Ambulance and WLFEA directors. Director Yesney. Director Russell.
Here.
Director Webb.
Here.
Director Holbrook.
Here.
And Director Buss.
Director Yesney did say he was camping this week and would not be able to join us. So we have quorums for all three agencies, so that's good. And any public comment, Tina?
No.
Thank you. So we have a presentation from. Yes. I didn't. Yes, you did. Yep. You were present. Yeah, okay, thank you. It's been a long day. Yeah. I got it. And you are present, so that's good. Okay. So, Tina, you want to introduce our guest?
Yes, this is Corey from Acuity Auditors LLC, and she is our new auditor for the next 3 years, for this year, fiscal year, and the next 2 fiscal years. So Corey, thank you for joining us.
Of course. Apologies for being on my phone. I tried to make it home and got stuck in traffic. I'm not driving though.
That's good.
Safe. So I want to start out giving the presentation by saying that your staff has been wonderful to work with. You've got great systems in place, and where we did have recommendations, we've gone over them and had meetings with staff. They're so committed to just being better and doing things better. They were so great to work with. I can't emphasize that enough. Because you've got a lot going on, as you know, three organizations and their responsibilities related to that are a big job, and we really appreciated how organized they were. We are disruptive when we come in. We need a lot of stuff. There were 4 of us. We ask for basically full attention for the entire accounting staff for a couple days, and they gave it to us. They got us what we needed, and did a great job. So that being said, we did run into a few problems. I'm 98% confident we won't see them again. So that's the good news of them. The main crux of it was just making sure that in the authority, the same revenue that's being recorded in the authority is matching the expenses in the supporting districts. And to be completely honest, that wasn't caught by your prior auditors, that you guys didn't have that being reconciled. So this is a new, hey, we need to do it this way. It also led to some over expenditures. So when you're seeing those over expenditures, that wasn't a systemic issue. That was just us having to fix the prior year and those accruals related to paying between the entities. So nothing to lose sleep about, but like I said, we've had meetings to make sure that everyone understands what we're looking for and what dates everything needs to be matching to. So that was the first kind of big issue we ran into that I don't think will be reported again. And the other was just some tweaking of the way that your budget process is happening, the resolution wording, and and making sure that the funds are broken out on them. And so I feel like we've done some good work with meetings post audit procedures, so that as we come in to do this year's audit for 2023, we won't see those issues again. And we really appreciate that you guys want to do better. And so that was kind of the crux of the audit. I mean, air quote issues, because they're minor in the grand scope of things. They were big dollar figures, those accruals we had to fix, and we have that both in Western Lane Ambulance and Siuslaw Valley Fire. And then the prepaid that we mentioned in the authority was just timing and education, and so that has also been fixed. So I feel pretty good about where you're at, and I'm excited to get to work with you for 23 and see how much better things are. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Did anybody have any questions?
The questions from the director? There are none at this time.
Okay.
But if there are, we'll follow up with you. I appreciate all the work you guys did, and we'll see you guys in a couple months, I guess.
Yeah, you will.
Thanks,
Thank
Corey.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. It's pretty impressive. She remembered all that while she was driving. So you'll see, and one of the action items or agenda items is to follow up on one of their recommendations, one of the old business. So we do take to heart everything they tell us, and like I said, she said, some of this was not caught by our old auditors, which is one of the reasons we switched. But
there was one thing mentioned within there, not a question for her, but the balancing or reconciliation between the billing agency and our statements going out. So we didn't have a control in there in the first place, or what was our control historically?
did you hear that, Dina?
Yeah, so we did not really have a reconciliation process in place with that. I remember doing that when I first started working here, and then it kind of got set off to the side. And then I think it became real evident when we were getting the GEMT, the Ground Emergency Medical Transport revenue, and we were having trouble finding it. That was one of the things that was brought to the table during this previous audit, and it caught our attention that some of that revenue was coming in, and we thought it was through the billing agency. All the more reason to sit down and sharpen our pencils and get a reconciliation process in place, and we have that now.
You do. How difficult was that to establish, and roughly what are the moving parts you have within the process you just installed?
So how are we doing it? Is that what you're asking?
You said you didn't have the reconciliation process before. So how difficult was it to put it in place now? And are there a lot of moving parts, or is it rather easy to navigate?
Well, I'll kind of give you a brief overview, and then Holly, if you want to chime in, because you are actually working directly with it. What we have to do is take the bank statements and all of the revenue that we have recorded, and just basically check. Holly, do you want to add anything?
Sure. And anything that we don't match, we will email our Systems Design West, that's our billing company, and we'll say, hey, we need these documents. We need just the follow-up emails, like, hey, you're missing something, please get it to us. And then it's just a checks and balances that way.
So lastly, in that realm, does Systems Design, when they send you money, is it itemized per client, per patient?
It's a mixed
Not
bag,
always.
you know. I mean, sometimes it's one amount that includes 4 or 5 different payments,
And it's hard.
It
There's a
is
lot of
hard.
fees.
It's very complicated, and I give a lot of credit to Holly and Laura for tackling it, because it's like putting together a big jigsaw puzzle. But I think we've been doing a pretty good job at it, and it's just working with Systems Design to make sure that we're we're either getting remittances for deposits that we show that they never sent us by email, or, you know, the other way around. So it's
But
a job
doesn't
every month.
Doesn't their month-end summary, that's per patient, right?
Well,
Yes, we use
yeah.
their month-end summary against our bank statements as
right.
our main two.
So that would be per patient, but it doesn't say what, just for instance, yeah.
And there are a lot of deposits that come in. I mean, there's just, I would say, pages a month of itemized deposits. So it's a project.
Is there a way to ask them to clean up their paperwork they send you so that it's easier for you to decipher?
Well, it's their system, and I don't know if there's anything they can do on their end. We just have to take it 1 month at a time and knock it out and just communicate with them.
But they won't know it's broken unless you tell them that you're having difficulty
Pretty much.
deciphering.
Right,
So-
and we do that. So if we find a discrepancy, we reach out to them, and they're pretty good to work with.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, so we'll move on to the SVFR and Western Lane Ambulance District fiscal year 23 and 24 budgets. Now, these are separate hearings, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So we'll open the public hearing for the SVFR fiscal year 23-24 budget. Are there any public comments? Dina?
I do not have any.
Okay, any from the crowd, any comments? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. And now we're looking at resolution 2023-03 for SVFR. It is second page. We need it. No, I've got a copy. So this is the resolution adopting the budget, which there's been no changes since it was approved by the budget committee.
Questions or comments to Chief Schick or Dina? Jim, Sam? Lori,
None.
do I hear a motion to approve?
Polisi, make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
Lori.
Jim.
Lori
second.
Couple seconds it.
All those in favor of the resolution 2023-03 adopting this year's budget, all respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So moved.
Okay. Now we will open the public hearing for the Western Lane Ambulance District fiscal year 23-24 budget. Any public comments, Dina?
No.
Any comments from our audience? None. We'll close the public hearing, and now we're looking at Western Lane Ambulance District Resolution 2023-02 adopting fiscal year 23-24 budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2023-02 to adopt the budget in the amount of $7,781,194.
There's a second.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded for adoption of the resolution. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And you got the resolution to sign, you and Dr. Holbrook. And then you can, oh, you did. You're ahead of it. Okay. Thanks, everybody. So our consent agenda consists of meeting minutes from April 27th meeting, staff reports, and correspondence. Would anybody like to pull anything out of the consent agenda? Hearing none, well, consent agenda is approved. Call volume, Chief House, oh, yeah, there he is, Chief House, or do you have any questions for Chief House? He is on vacation, he's called in.
Stay home.
Yes, that's what I tell him.
I have no questions for him. Enjoy his vacation.
I want to know what it's.
No question for you, Matt. Thanks for calling in, though. I appreciate it. I assume that's, but it is. So monthly financial, Dina.
So Sayula Valley Fire and the authority financials are looking good. Got a few things with Western Lane Ambulance that I have mentioned before. We're a little over in expenditures on vehicles and medical costs. And I think I will be bringing a resolution to the next board meeting to move some money out of contingency into materials and services to cover those overages. We've discussed them before and we can discuss them again next month, but that's really all I have to address, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions on the financials? None. Thank you, Dina. So we have one of the items that Acuity or our auditors came up with was they wanted us to amend last year's resolution. This is for Western Lane Ambulance District, adopting a fiscal year 22-23 budget. And that is page 57 of the board packet. And this has to deal with Life Med Fund. Doesn't change any dollar amounts. It just, well, Dina, I'll have you explain it.
Right, so I put an agenda bill in your packet, but in a nutshell, it's just a little housekeeping item. The transfer from Life Med into general fund was put on the left, on the original resolution was put on the left side of the page under general fund, and the auditors want it on the right side under the Life Med fund. So that's all I did was move it from one side of the page to the other side of the page, and they're happy.
And you need a resolution to approve this?
We do. So it's so it's, yeah.
I have a motion to approve by Adam Holbrook.
I'll second.
I have a second. All those in favor of moving the item from one side of the page to the other page? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mike, you must say
I
aye.
said it.
Okay. Those opposed? Motion's approved. You can just sign your name again.
We have no new business, director comments, and if I could just interject something really quick. We got some very exciting news today. Our MCR program had put in for a grant with the federal government late last year. It took them all of a week to say, no, you're not going to the next step. And then we just got an email, or I just got an email yesterday, we've been approved for, it's about $1.5 million over 4 years.
For 4 years?
4 years, it's like
For-
300 to 400,000 a year for 4 years.
Wow.
So we're still trying to figure out, I mean, it's great, but, we got rejected at first and we got to figure out all the requirements, but, pretty much it seems like it's just to run the
Chief?
program. Yes,
And this is for the MCRC?
the MCR program.
Right.
The response, yeah.
Right. And this is what we've been involved with the Mobile Crisis Response Association's 501c3 that Melissa's been working on, correct?
That'd be different. That's their foundation that they're starting. This would either augment or replace county funding.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well
it's-
done. Congratulations.
I'm trying to come up to speed with, because this was last August we submitted this, so.
Have we seen the requirements and the strings attached?
I think I have, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into it. It's pretty much just to run the program like we're running it now. That's what the grant was intended to do.
No,
Right,
and I understand, I remember seeing, if I may, grants that allowed us where we, expanded. But once that went out, we had to keep it at that level for the next 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know that it says that, but we'll,
Yeah.
we don't accept it until we take money.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I'm very excited about it, but we all know that there's some strings that
They're from the government. They're here to help us.
And
Oh.
Chief, is there a cost to us? Is it a 80-20 or is this straight up
No,
100?
It's 100%, plus there's administrative cost in there.
Oh, my
Uh,
Lord.
Like I said, I just saw the email this morning, so we're still looking at that. I think it's great, and
Oh,
we
yeah,
gotta
it is.
how that's gonna impact our relationship with the county and,
Don't know.
yeah.
Can I bring this to the LCOG group, next meeting, or do you want me to hold off?
That's next month?
2 months.
Yeah, we should know something by then.
Okay,
Yeah, it starts September. Cool. And I think we got the Boys and Girls Club too, Grant.
Got $125,000.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna have one FTE, crisis response member on staff.
Good.
So
So,
super excited.
yes. Any other director comments?
I was wondering how, if we're gonna start projecting, since they're losing the palliative care program or changing it or whatever they're doing to it at the hospital. And I know that the mobile, paramedic
Yeah,
did a lot for them, how that's going to affect us, and also the transports are probably gonna go up.
yeah, so they, I was not involved in this discussion, so I'm going to make myself get involved in this discussion, but supposedly Wendy, our community paramedic, is going to start addressing those people that weren't palliative care but are homebound. So that's maybe, and Dr. Holbrook community home, but that's like 60 or so. I'm concerned in that that's a lot more work. That's a lot more Peace Harbor work being put on our community paramedic. Even though Peace Harbor is paying half her salary, but is she doing 90% of her work for Peace Harbor? So we have to discuss that. I think it's needed. I'm not against it. I just want to know how that's going to impact her workload.
Yeah. And I'm sure we're gonna see more transports too because of it.
Yeah, which is another issue we need to figure out. But yeah, so there will be an impact. I'm still trying to get more
I don't
idea.
know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody else? Our next board meeting is Thursday, June 22nd at 6 o'clock. You got the gavels.
Any other questions or any comments?
You ready?
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Thanks, everybody.
Did you hear that, Dina?
See you, Laurie. See you, Jim.
So what kind of-
See you, Matt.